All right, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Corn. Um, Not gonna be spending too much time on this, but we got to talk about this, man. The Idol. There's a show on HBO Max called, or I guess it's called Max now, but there's a show on HBO Max called The Idol, and it's starring Johnny Depp's daughter and The Weeknd. Just came out this past weekend, no pun intended. Um, and the reviews on it, which I already could tell from the trailer that I saw months ago, that this is not going to be a show that I wanted to watch. I believe this is run by the same people who did Euphoria, which would make sense because it is on HBO Max, same streaming service, same production studio. But the reviews coming out of this show after this past weekend, they don't surprise me, but it surprises a lot of people that watch the show. And I'm sitting here scratching my head as to what were you guys expecting? I love Johnny Depp as an actor. Can't really speak to him as a person. I don't really know. I think Amber Heard is a garbage human being. So, there's that. But just because Johnny Depp is not as bad as Amber Heard doesn't mean that he's this amazing fucking human being either. Again, not really my position to really say anything about Johnny Depp as a person because, look, I don't know him. But at the end of the day, you hear the things that you hear about Hollywood, right? In order to make it to the very top, this is what you have to do. In order to be this super big star, this is what you have to do. So it really did not surprise me that Johnny Depp's daughter decided to take a very provocative role in a show called The Idol. Now, some people want to take this into a whole religious thing. I'm not really that religious, so I'm not really going to take it there when it comes to the name of the show. But if you know, you know. But that's not what I'm here for. I'm here today to talk to you guys about this show because this is something that is right in front of our eyes, much like everything that we've been seeing for the past couple years, that Hollywood continues to drop these, shout out to Heavy J, or Big J now, in terms of crumbs. I love that term. Because that's what Hollywood's done the past couple years. They've dropped all these crumbs of everything that we've heard over all these years of how, you have to do these rituals and sacrifices and all this weird stuff in order to, quote unquote, make it, in order to be the star, in order to be the Tom Cruises, the Will Smiths, the Johnny Depps, if you will, of the world. So now, the Hollywood Reporter comes out with this article a few days ago talking about how this show is super provocative, but the stars of the show already knew how provocative it was. Not only did they already know, obviously, because you're doing the show, so they have to, you have table reads and everything else. You got to read the script. But not only did they know how provocative it was, some of them are saying that that's what kind of gravitated them towards this show. And yeah, you can see it right here. So I was right. It was created by Sam Levinson, the dude from Euphoria, which we already know how. Look, I've explained to you guys. I think I did a whole live stream about a year or so ago about Euphoria and how terrible that fucking show is. But and how provocative that show is. But I want to go down here in this article and talk about how Sam Levinson and company, they know exactly what the fuck they're doing when it comes to this type of genre of entertainment. Early on, the promotional materials for the show leaned into its edginess, calling Levinson and Tesfaye the sick and twisted minds behind the sleaziest love story in all of Hollywood in a teaser. But then the show became the subject of unfavorable attention when Rolling Stone published an expose calling the show a rape fantasy and alleging that it went wildly disgustingly off the rails. After cast changes and a departure of original director Amy whatever the fuck. In her review of the show, The Hollywood Reporter critic Livia noted that in one scene, a label executive is arguing with Jocelyn's creative director, who's against her bearing breasts for the album cover shoot. She tells him to stop cock blocking America. That brief moment announces the show's intention and puts a metaphorical hand up at incoming haters. Sex sells, and the idol revels in that. In an interview published by New York Times over the weekend and conducted at Cannes last month, the Cannes Festival, Tesfaye, Depp, and Levinson defended the series, urging people to watch it with an open mind, but noted that they never intended to make a family show. Well, obviously. We always knew what we were going to make. Let me start over. We always knew that we were going to make something that was going to be provocative and perhaps not for everyone. That was a draw for all of us, said Depp, the daughter of Johnny Depp and whoever the fuck. I don't think any of us were really interested in making anything that was going to be, fun for the whole family, which is understandable. I get it. But let's go down here. When I first started making music, it was the exact same thing, he said. It was provocative. I knew it was going to be tough for people. And a lot of people didn't like it. Not to compare it, but I feel like this is kind of like that again. This is not going to be for everyone, and that's fine. We're not politicians. The Idol features a great deal of nudity as well as a black man, Tesfaye, which is The Weeknd, as the villain. Levinson, Depp, and Weeknd also defended those choices. There are many women who felt exploited by the nudity they've done and have thought, I didn't feel great about that, Depp said. But I'm comfortable performing in that way. Well, obviously, we all know you do. I enjoy it. We know. It informed the character. In the conversation around the risque aspects, there's the implication that it's something being constantly imposed upon women. Obviously, that has been true a lot historically. So here we go, and I want to start off by saying this. So I at least want to stop right here just for a second and say this. What these shows, especially the Euphorias, and I guess now the Idols, those type of shows, not only are they doing this whole we're going to do the whole risque aspect of nudity and so free and blah, 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 whatever. Watch it with an open mind. Let me tell you guys something. Shows like The Citadel on Amazon Prime, watch that with an open mind. Shows like Upload on Amazon, watch shows like that with an open mind. Maybe Black Mirror, watch that with an open mind. What's it called? Robots, Love and Death, or whatever it's called. Watch that with an open mind even. But when you're talking about a show like The Idol, when you're talking about Euphoria, watch with an open mind. And then they're talking about, it's so risque, women are so free, and blah, 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 all the tits and ass and all this. Look, hey, at the end of the day, I'm a man. So, you show me some tits, I'm still looking. But when it gets to the point where that is your show, when your show is basically like a porno, and then you want to throw the word trauma on it as a defense, which I feel like that's where they're going to be leaning more towards as well, because you're talking about the Hollywood industry, you're talking about the entertainment industry, and someone who fell off and is getting right back in there, and the show is called The Idol. Guys, what is an idol? I'll wait. So I think is this where the article ends? So they don't mention that, there's something about, I believe it's like a photo or something, where Johnny Depp's daughter, how do I say this in like a non derogatory way? There's somewhere in the show where she gets cum on her face. And I feel like stuff like that is not really necessary for a show. No matter if it's on HBO Max, Showtime, Stars, it doesn't matter. I feel like things like that should probably stay in porn, but that's a whole other thing. Look, the reason why I want to do this video is because I want to talk about pretty much what all these shows are starting to gravitate towards. Now, these kind of shows have always been around, but they've never been on a kind of platform, never been put on a pedestal like they are in 2023. And that's where I have the biggest problem at, is because now you have literally Johnny Depp, of all people, his daughter, in a show like this. And there's so many of these shows now that are coming out where it's like they're showing you the sacrifices that these people have to make. They're showing you the weird, ritualistic type of shit that is going on behind closed doors and now in 2023 out in the open in Hollywood. Now, when you talk about Sam Levinson and people like that, when all of your shows and movies are like this, where it's just, hey, let me just shoot some pornos with less than decent storyline, less than decent character development, look no further than Euphoria. So why would I turn on this dog shit and watch this? People like Sam Levinson belong in Arkham Asylum. I mean, let's just be honest. When all your movies and shows are just pretty much pornos, and then you want to slap, female trauma, or, this person's going to be gay, and we want to do it. When you do all that shit, fam, you're not a filmmaker. You're not really being that creative. And I'm sure I'm probably going to get a lot of backlash from Euphoria fans. Sure. Okay. Tell me where the good story is in Euphoria. Tell me where the good story is in The Idol. And then maybe I'll believe you. But I just want to take the time out today to show you guys that, guys, it's only getting worse, man. We're talking about HBO Max. We're talking about home box office. We're talking about the end all and be all when it comes to making great series on television. These are the same people that at the beginning of the year came out with The Last of Us, and that show was complete dog shit. Complete dog shit. And they wanted to say, we're progressive, we're doing this, we're doing that, when in reality, they're not doing shit. In reality, you guys gave us a shit show and wanted to slap one of the biggest video game IPs of all time on it. And now we see that we're halfway through 2023 and we're being slapped with this show called The Idol on the very same network, the very same platform. And it's not working. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Hit me up in the comments. Maybe I'm overreacting. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, all that good stuff. It's your boy Corn, and I am OUT.